Hello and welcome back to The Pale Beyond. We are getting closer and closer into the freezing waters. And as they've said in so far, we have hit the ice and we are slowly but surely making our way into the Pale Beyond. But we're not really there yet. And we have met some more people. We have learned how to allocate people to tasks and so on. But we still have people we haven't met yet and such. And there are still a lot of things to learn. For example, how do we increase the fuel and the food rations? Hopefully, we will get to that this episode. First, but not least, let's approach the sick young man. Spot a youthful-looking man leaning over the side of the ship. His head slumped as he looks into the icy pool below. It appears he's been visited by a spot of seasickness. Pat him on the back. Are you okay? And leave the man to his illness. No. Are you okay? You speak out, and the sickly man doesn't answer. He raises his head and turns to spot you, his eyes widening in shock as he does. A bespectacled young man shaking with unease. He stares at you for a brief moment, a look of shame plastered upon his face. Sorry. We haven't seen you around. Who are you? Compose yourself, man. We should be able to handle the waves. Are you alright? Are you alright? Yes. Not really. I'm very sorry. The man turns around and hurriedly runs in the opposite direction, avoiding your gaze. Arthur Nutley, the ship doctor. Yes. The rigging. While examining the rigging of the ship, her eyes notice a figure darting by, climbing on the ropes with ease. The figure lands on their feet before dusting themselves off. Her outfit denotes one of Kurt's scouting crew. Ah, no problems. He looks to you. And you are? Officer Shaw, yourself? Click. I'm one of Kurt's crew. Don't worry about my safety, I know what I'm doing. Trust me. Kurt doesn't just hire anyone. Well, he didn't hire me for no reason. Got the medals in gymnastics if you're worried about my credentials. Flick jumps up and returns to scaling the rigging of the ship. Anyway, speak to the navigator. Send me up there, I'll get you a reading. The scientist eyes the man's cane and turns to you. I believe the navigator means you send one of his scouts. The navigator clears his throat and taps his cane. Of course, If you find one of mine, they'll get us a reading. Rightly. Scout from the crow's nest. Let's send Flick. Confirm. They ascend to the nest and take a reading with the sextant. All clear from up top. Yeah, and here we have the world map. But it's going to make more sense in the future. This is where we are. Return, no, not return. Orca Island. The last port you made, we picked up Kurt and the scouting team from. Yeah, so that's where we picked them up. We are here. And this here is our destination, Viscount Island. The last known location of the Viscount. Your destination. Return. Yeah. So you can access the map by going up there. And yeah. Descend below deck. Listen. You overhear two of the newly arrived scouting crew talking. Ah, Quilsey. Have any trouble settling in? Not too bad. Can't wait for a chance to sleep, though. A proper navigator never rests until the work is done. Of course, of course. I take it you have no issues settling in? Not at all. The crew are a funny lot. Old Kurt certainly caught your attention. Do you think any of them would mistake Kurt and myself? I think you'd collapse from the joy if they did. Perhaps. Perhaps. But yeah. As you can see down here, all of them... down here you can see these, like, man figure icons, which represents who they are in the manifest. So you can just by these icons see if someone is injured or has an affliction of some kind, so on and so forth, without having to go through and look at them. Sometimes I find it easier to just go in here and like go through the tabs, looking more specifically like this, because you can see it's more color coded here, and you can see immediately who's who. And yeah. But you can, just from looking at this down here, you can see. And if you know exactly which character is where along here, you can actually... you can actually, without opening this, know who is injured or afflicted with something without ever opening the manifest, which is kind of interesting. But I find it easier to open it. Hooded sailor. You spot a suspicious looking sailor emerge from the pantry. The hooded sailor spot you, keeping their hands firmly in their pockets. Not what it looks like, Officer Shaw. Like, but call me Gnomes. I'm not thieving anything. I will take you at your word. I didn't consider that, but now you best have a good explanation then. Have a perfectly good explanation. No worries, I was just setting up a practical joke. Oh, well, best of luck with that. And what is this practical joke? You best not be making a mockery of the crew. Thank you. It's not at your expense, if that's your concern. Have to get some enjoyment around here, don't you think? With their mysterious trap set, Gnome scurries off to the upper decks to return to work. Yes. Approach the accordionist. Approach the cook. Spots you and sees it in his playing. Need something? You're Grimly, aren't you? Nice accordion. You mind if I see? Your brother sent me to speak with you. No, you're Grimly, aren't you? Man grunts. Hey. Grimly Stoke. I'm the ship's carpenter. Nice accordion, you mind if I see? Then your junior's brother. If you're the carpenter, shouldn't you be working? Nice accordion. You can see from there, no touching. The brother sent me to speak with you. Junior. Oh, you're sure. Junior mentioned you. In a positive or negative light, I was just speaking to him too. And it was good to meet you, Grimly. And it was good to meet you, Grimly. Grimly just grunts in response. Wanted us to meet, did he? We met now. Won't keep you from your work. Don't keep me away from my break. Yes. Approach the cook. Hey, Shaw. Can you grab me some tins from the pantry? It's nearly time for dinner. The moment you enter the pantry, a bag of flour drops on your head, scattering all over your officer's uniform. What the hell was that? Gnomes! You wipe the flour off you before continuing. You lift a crate of tins from the shelves. A hosh pot. Oh, what will it be this week, Shaw? Yeah, so here we can see how we increase the rations we have available. If we add that to the hoosh, we have plus 20 food rations. So from 75, it's going to add up to 95. And that's it. And we can feed it. We can add anywhere from 1 to 10 items. So if we feed the hoosh and leave, we now have 95. We go in here again. You can't do that just yet. Yeah, I probably can't do that just yet. Anyway. I haven't missed anything. I usually go through all the places on the ship like this, just in case. Especially in the beginning, it's important to meet everyone, because they don't become available unless you talk to them or encounter them in some way. Anyway, call the crew for dinner. The crew have their meal. And notice, the food rations doesn't decrease now. It's when you end the week. That's when. Should we toast to the ice? Aye. The days get longer, but dinner's fixed. It will see us through the long days and the darkest nights. The crew return to the posts. The hammocks are unfurled, and you can't help but notice that it's still bright light outside. You notice two sailors passing by from the dinner table. And an inebriated sailor on wobbling legs leaning on the shoulder of another. Good times, good times. Need to learn to handle your drink, Stucker. But I'm fine. My mates can carry me. Cavity. They can also drop you. Have two Yons carry you next time. ... Are you asleep? Shit. Door. You knock on the door. No response. Listen. Oh. You overhear two engineers chatting above deck. Or rather, you overhear one engineer speaking with another. Don't know how the chief could stay down there all evening. ... Have you ever seen Mr. Hammond eat? ... I haven't. Maybe he doesn't even eat. Man's not human if he can work all day and night on that boiler. Probably doesn't sleep either. He probably sleeps. Hey, Dick, it's figurative. Right. So, the engineers, we have two that we found. So we're getting through and finding more and more. We're still missing one scientist. And one specialist. But that's about it. We've soon met all the crew. Is there anything else before we... Oh, nothing there. The captain has turned in for the evening. Approach the dogs. The dogs regard her with rapt attention as she paces between them, bowl in hand. The largest joins her side as you approach. Try some. Try the soup. You nearly burn your mouth on the hot broth. Surprisingly tasty. It's surprisingly palatable. Feel yourself warming up. You seem to enjoy it. I'm afraid there is only so much. If you want more, it will be among the dog's leftovers. Penguin, some blubber, fats and proteins. Fastest way to hydrate them. Was there something you needed? Just inspecting the animals. Why are you here? Where did they come from? Just inspecting. They belong here more than we do. And like us, they need ice. It cools them through the pores as they run. They overheat otherwise. That's true. Some like the more like some polar, like the real polar dogs, if it's if they don't come in contact with anything cold, they can actually overheat, which is actually quite interesting. Anyway, you've been on the you have been on the ice for a long time. Strong creatures. Who's that beside you? Let's ask who's beside her. This is Stanberry. Bark. You have been on the ice for a long time. A long time, yes. Strong animal. Very. They handle stress differently. Adapt quickly. There's plenty to be learned from them. You love these animals. They need me. And you will need them. You ruffle its head. Tries to lick the broth from your fingers. Yeah. Accurate. You knock on the door. Still no response. You can hear the sounds of rustling inside. After knocking on the door several times, it finally swings open to reveal one of Templeton's science team. Yes? Do you require my presence? Apologies, just checking. I'm acquainting myself with the crew. Who are you? Why did you answer the first time? You should know. I'm the meteorologist of this expedition, Andrew Isaac. If I'm not required for anything, I would ask not to be disturbed any further. Could have answered the first time and it would have been way easier and much less disturbing and annoying. But anyway, that should mean we have met everybody. Yes. So that means we can, and you can press E here or hold E. So now we should decide how much are we going to allocate. I'm actually going to, I wonder if I just do this. I am not sure. Now let's do half rations. Another week passes. The Temperance has finally entered the thick ice leads. The days grow ever brighter. Three weeks on the Temperance. And honestly, I think I'm actually going to end it here. I'm going to end the episode here. And I am looking forward to playing this game. I really, really am looking forward. And I am not confident that I will be able to like reach the end, especially not on my first try of this. The further into this you go, the harsher it's going to be, the more difficult the decisions you have to make are going to be. It's rapidly going to get more and more brutal. Now, I'm not going to spoil what's happening, but I feel like leaving it here for now is what I'm going to do. Now, on top of that, something that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the Pale Beyond, but not long ago, a developer reached out to me, and basically asked if I could talk about a game that they're trying to spread awareness about. And I took a look at it, and like the concept looked interesting. Like it's actually something that I myself has wondered how would that actually like be. And the game is called Kingmakers. I'm not sure it's my type of game to actually play, but the concept looked interesting and felt interesting enough to at least spread awareness about. There is a Steam page for it, so you can look up. There isn't, from what I know, a demo or a playable version, because I think it's too early stage for it so far. So it's not out yet, and there is no, but it's worth looking at because it looks interesting. What I'm worried about, this is both for you as a viewer, but also for the developer, if you hear this. One concern I have is the sandbox tag for the game. Whereas, why are you doing the things that, like, what are you working towards? Like, what is the reason why you're doing the things in a certain game? That's something I always ask myself. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Because if there isn't a goal to work towards, regardless if you make up the goal yourself or if the game provides you one, there sort of needs to be one. And I myself have, at the moment, not really time to think those things through, and sometimes also not creativity or like opportunity to think of that. So having the game provide me with even just a very simple one reason to do the things that you do in the game is what I feel is very important. Now, if you think it's something worth like wishlisting or like keeping a mental note on, so to speak. I mean, take a look at it. There is a Steam page, if I remember correctly, it's called Kingmakers, and the developers have made a game before, and that was, I think, a while ago. I think it was 2017 it came out. Anyway, if it seems like something interesting, take a peek at it. If not, the developer were very open to me just, if I want to, it would be appreciated. And I think the idea is interesting. So I thought, I mean, why not? So here I am talking about it. But we are now going to go back to Pale Beyond. We are in the middle of absolutely nowhere, moving towards, well, the destination which is the Viscount. So far it's going fine, but I mean, if you have any experience with these kind of movies and books and stories and so on, it usually never goes as planned. So of course something is going to happen, but what's going to happen, that is something we are going to have to find out in another episode. So I hope that you liked and can appreciate my brain farts where I completely blank out. Anyway, I hope that you like what's have been so far and will like what's about to come. I am super excited to play and to continue playing, which I will be doing. So a like on the video would be super awesome. Subscribe to the channel would be, I don't know, rad, for a lack of better words. And if you have anything to say or a question or whatever, the comment sections is down below. So with that, I would just round up by saying all of that is up to you. So for now, thanks for watching. Goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.